Hello. I almost didn't stream this morning because there's stuff I have to do this morning, but one of the things I have to do is go to the movie theater, and obviously they do not open in the morning. So, that pushes off my original plans. Anyway, the other day I was,
time to go.
Hold on. Jesus. Oh, you good? Anyway, yesterday I was playing this before I went into work in the morning. So I was doing a little side quest. Gimme. Ah! Oh, where did you go? Hey! Oh my god. Romeo's causing trouble. Hey, Romeo!
Offering.
You bitch. What was I doing? Alright. Expedition awards. Yeah. I'll get them.
Add Astra at
the sky. Oh, I need to turn on my thing. So, on Thursday, I'll be getting my new headset. That's the one that I've been looking at for a while. That was on sale during Black Friday, but I didn't buy. Went on sale again, thankfully, last night. And it was basically the same price as the Black Friday sale. So, I bought her yesterday. And while I do have Prime, you know, it's a holiday season, so I won't see her until Thursday. Maybe, no. I was going to say maybe I'll stream Thursday night. But nah. Because, you know. I don't know. Maybe. Alright. Right, which direction? Wait. This is the main quest, right? Yeah, alright.
Time to go.
Wow!
Just wanted to make sure.
If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick mora!
Can we even negotiate?
Oh, you needn't worry about that.
Negotiate.
I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
Paimon switches so easily.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Anyway, oh wait! Wait! Isn't it Raiden?
So
No, it wouldn't be
What
Raiden,
she
because this
said
would
to
be
you
the first
was
part. So it's
very
not Raiden.
good
Raiden's
journalist.
in January, I think.
Nice.
Hold up.
Of course it doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it.
Oh,
But not right
thanks,
now, of course.
Charlotte.
I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief and... Ooh, so much to get done now.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine
She has
were
a
to
cute
be
coat.
flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow.
Honestly, okay, Charlotte knows who we are. So if a person who's basically a savior for a lot of countries or has dealt with a lot of shit in other countries suddenly asked me, hey, if your country flooded tomorrow, like, what would you do? I would be like, do I need to get out? Should I leave? I would leave. I would be like, okay, I'm leaving.
If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist, first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
But see, I am a dreamer, and I'm not a workaholic. So that's an issue with my writing. Being a dreamer helps.
Scenery can be a pretty soothing combo,
but being a procrastinator doesn't help.
Paimon's been thinking...
Which, by the way, speaking about book, yes?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
If I could choose, huh? It's just like Charlotte said, suddenly trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Yes, cherishing every single moment that I have to look upon this world.
Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
The banner goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. As night falls, you return to your accommodations and end this busy day. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conducts the interview in Spina del Rosa, safe house at the Fluva. Sindri? Navier, having finished her business in Poisson, even drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well. Yeah, I'm close, though. I did start the next chapter, and then I realized that chapter shouldn't be started yet. I have to do another chapter in between. Cause I'm like, I have like a scene that's playing in my head, and at first I was just going to ignore it, but like, she's still persisting in my head, so I'm gonna go back to add in that chapter, or that scene.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of Meropide.
So are you under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Let's hear it.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry.
Oh my god,
Marshals
girl!
Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So,
People,
you mean she's still missing?
I mean, I know this is like based in France.
That's right. The Marshal
But girl, you gotta get your head cut off.
To search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could good? Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You sure caught him
If we
quickly.
know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation.
Yeah.
Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about it would be hard for her to ignore Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip a... Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis.
I see becoming
to back
detective
it up
done you
too.
some good.
Cool,
Looks like those
huh?
detective novels have had an effect on you.
In that
Sorry,
case,
I'm
there's
like
not a moment
reading
to
ahead of
lose.
the text.
Poisson, here we come!
Perks of being a reader. You can fast read things. Where are we going? Poisson? Oh yeah. I'm like, why would she be here? I
This place
forgot.
looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's
Yeah.
left here are signs of devastation.
Oh yeah, we want
Could Farina
to change
really
the characters.
be here?
Since this is only storyline. Sorry, Paimon! Since we're dealing with
I
the
promise
goddess.
to keep you safe.
This is destiny.
We'll do water characters.
For justice.
It's really the only one. We'll bring out the traveler.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
Okay, sorry, that's so weird having her in the back.
There's still a long road ahead.
Wait, where's Candace? Candace!
I promise to keep you safe.
We got all the water characters. Sup, bitch?
That's Farina, right over there.
Shh.
Should I just give up?
Oh.
This is all meaningless.
Trigger warning for
What was
suicide?
meant to happen did happen
Suicidal
after
thoughts?
all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Ayo, Farina!
Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, You were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson.
I low-key want to slap her.
I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Maréchaussée Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too. Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Girly pop.
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her!
Girl. Well, there's only one way. Okay.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Paimon's exhausted.
Yeah, I must be exhausted flying through the air.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
This place is not what I call soundproof. You might want to lower your voice to stay hidden.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it
Another
an earthquake?
disaster just struck, I suspect.
A quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Yeah, they've already died. Has Farina finally reached her limit now that she's talking about her actual feelings? She's starting to look far less stiff. Yourself as Farina slowly calms down.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
For 100 years and you got nowhere?
I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
But even then, you still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
But that would also mean that Aho
Indeed.
would disappear.
I've thought about giving up so many times. Especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
Well,
that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all.
I really do want to slap her.
Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
We're running out of time. We can't just go back to square one like this. I have to get more information out of her. Farina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden? That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
Even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you call a witness. Dun, dun, dun.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
Yep.
If that's the case...
There's no time left. Please, Farina, just spit it out. Oh! Cutscene! Are you kidding? Oh! We were... Lenny!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial
shit.
of our...
So this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Ooh! Now your people turning...
To God? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It's funny because, you know, she does this. Even if she doesn't have the gnosis. Like, do you really think she would want to harm her subjects that she cares so deeply for? I feel like she would have still surrendered even with the gnosis. So like the people are already like, oh, I can't. Oh, there's Charlotte in the corner. People are like, oh, I can't believe she would surrender to a human. But yeah, if she used her powers, people would be like, I can't believe she would actually harm one of her people. Like, fucking humans suck ass.
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve.
I know a lot of people say, like, you could tell that she's not the actual Archon because of her hair.
To show the world the
like, her hair doesn't glow when
this
she,
time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before
when she
your eyes.
When she uses her magic.
Mark my words.
And at first I thought it was a lie because I'm like, I thought I saw something glowing on her. Well, her feathers glow, which gives the illusion
the trial of the Hydro
that her hair is glowing.
Focalor will now begin.
Woohoo! Woo!
Oh, now we're making history.
But as I said, I remember people saying that she was
I feel like Farina just took over the whole thing. Like, come on.
That the Hydro Archon, they're twins.
Trial for her crimes?
And obviously there's one
also,
Gnosis.
Even though she's still acting super dramatic,
so I think she has a twin who has the Gnosis.
This time, right?
Romeo, make up your mind.
Who will be my
You're about to get your
in this trial?
Face slapped.
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting to tears, but it still turned out like this in the end. It's okay though. As long as we could defeat Farina in court, we will still have a chance to figure everything out. Dang. Oh, do we have to put clues together? Ooh.
Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean, the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
I'm so confused.
You're welcome.
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Sorry about that. We just saved you back there.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
You guessed wrong. My mission was to give you one last chance. We hope that you share your secret with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
In the beginning, you prosecuted us, now we're prosecuting you. Yeah, the only thing we could do now is judge the Hydra Archon. Still, I can't help but be a little bothered by the conversation earlier. What did Farina want to say to me right before we arrived on the stage?
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
It's a super practical gift. I never would have thought of using it this way.
Let's quickly confirm the information.
Charlotte, go! You go, girl!
As a refresher, alright?
Oh, fuck!
Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Nervilette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers.
Aww.
The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position.
I don't want to do it.
The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. as the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait.
Oh shit, we're going there!
Lady Farina's a fraud?
Well, I was gonna say, I'm like, what if he just told the people that she didn't have a gnosis?
Try the Hydro Archon for forsaking her duty, but did I hear that right?
Oh shit!
Charge accepted.
Oh shit!
Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Yeah, we know you don't have the gnosis.
Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah, even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no
the witches are
memory.
Eternal.
See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
Huh. An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
The people only see you as their Archon because that's their long-held belief.
I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
I've got to think carefully. What do we know to be special about Farina exactly? Ha!
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
Sorry, I had a cough. It doesn't matter who gave us the information. What matters is the veracity of the claim.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Neverlet?
So, Farina, instead of an Archon, can you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
So, but even if she is a cursed human, she
don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Wait, that one trial proved the opposite. Furina actually has no control over the Oratrice at all. War child! Okay, this way is way easier than the other way.
But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Furina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges.
Never
if you
go out there to begin
withhold
with.
Vital information against the rules of the court.
Sorry, Romeo.
I never thought you'd
on
use
top
that kind
of
of
the
rhetoric against
nativity
me.
scene.
That was no trick
And
of
now
rhetoric,
you're
Lady Furina.
crossing the
I've merely
TV.
reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
Boy.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice.
Or move out of the way.
Having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Sure, we could put the Oratrice aside for now, but then Miss Furina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
Power as an Archon? There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly
That's why we have Mr. Nervalette.
Of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Yeah, bitch, you have no excuse.
You don't need to go that far.
A brief demonstration of your power over Hydro should be quite harmless. Surely an Archon can at least match the capacities of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Wait, she doesn't have Hydro right now?
It's all because of Indemnitium. All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah. No matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Yeah. Ooh. Girl.
Seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
If we can't prove that she isn't the Archon, we could try to prove that she is just a human. If she's only human... Irrelevant. I know. Oh, I was like, why won't it let me... Is that it?
That
No.
doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think...
I don't know what it is, honestly.
It has been established
Oh.
that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can
Oh,
use right here and now to
shit.
eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater?
Ooh.
If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would
Who's
have
calling
basically
me?
proved the reverse.
Oh, it's an alarm.
Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve.
Her.
I
Being
do
people.
hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Dun, dun, dun. Oh. 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 Farina?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
Yeah.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Hey!
She actually...
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewien? If you're present, Miss Siegewien, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewien?
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewien.
Has everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegeween. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poseidon. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
But what's really going on here? Farina can't have not known the consequences of touching that water as a human. This isn't too unlike how she usually acts, unless it's... No! But hadn't she given up on everything a long time ago?
Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing!
Yeah, it did.
Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater? Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Girl, you're digging your grave.
Please, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty.
Oof.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Execution.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Did the Oratrice just declare Farina to be innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I always thought that it was just a myth.
Well, the Oratrice said the Hydro Archon.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Furina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
We're murderers!
Escalate this quickly.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
What's more strange is, instead of Furina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Fremine, you're adorable.
The trial still going?
Fremine! Oh, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then...
Aww.
Doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in me.
It's still not too late for you to shine.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
This looks like the previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanades into human beings.
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
So that was her sin.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Furina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon.
Wait, so that's why she wouldn't have power?
Do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kind of talking about?
What is
in
it,
truth,
Romeo?
Everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the contents of the slates and the events in real life? Well, gods didn't make people, as far as I'm aware. They're just basically, you know... think of the heavenly principle or whatever as a king or a queen. And then lords and dukes and whatever, those are people who are extension to the government. And they overlook their areas to take care of it. So, like, you know, the government with the governors are overlooking their states, but they're not actually, you know, the quote-unquote ruler of the United States. So, essentially, gods are like the governors, or lords and ladies. The heavenly principle is the mastermind behind it all. So, I'm assuming, most likely, the original Hydro Archon made the Oceanades into people, and the heavenly principle is like, you can't go around making your own people.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Ah, shit.
The first stone slate describes what you just said.
Yeah.
It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans.
So when the humans obviously touch the primordial seawater, they revert back to their actual true selves.
Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
So does that mean the whale is the actual Hydro Archon? Because, like, I mean, that would make sense because, you know, Geodaddy, he took the form of a dragon. So...
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident,
crying
it
on
was
the
just a
throne.
question of when and not if.
I mean, she was just crying on a throne-like chair. Okay. Verify truth. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Just sealed being the forbidden. Okay, we're gonna go with his.
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. And the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
Okay, it shows Celestia floating in the sky and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together, but the heavens still brought judgment. Maybe this one? No. Okay, then this one. No? This one?
Doesn't sound quite...
Oh, I thought she would be on the last one.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nicolette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
Huh. The more you know.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
That doesn't sound...
No.
That doesn't...
Really? Never let?
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society. But not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Very true.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truth should come to light. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
Hold on, I'm rubbing my eyes. Alright. Right, the first slate reveals that Fontanians are not real humans.
Incredible! Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydro Archon was her creation of Fontanians from Oceanids.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
As for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Well?
Girl! He just started.
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
Well...
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Your ancestor was, but, you know, they reproduce in human form.
Sin was creating us.
I'm assuming you were recreated, you know, you were created from human form, so, like, you still have the primordial sea in your veins.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
So they are in the right order. What is the third slate supposed to represent,
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of Trials and Justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy,
we fulfilled the prophecy.
Everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
I don't know, it feels like there's no way out of this. Well, I think the prophecy is more of a warning. I mean, obviously all prophecies are probably, you know, warnings. I don't know, it feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
I think it already is.
I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of... However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come.
I'm sorry, what?
As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
I have? Wait, could it be the whale? Oh shit. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh, I thought it was gonna be...
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Okay. Just what is the true source of the catastrophe? Oh. We're verifying the truth. Okay. Following the minutes of Lenny, identities of agents. I'll never believe child to be innocent. This one? No. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Oh shit. What? Beelzebub. It doesn't look as big. Oh no. Yeah! Wow! There's my husband! Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Honey, this isn't you. Are we gonna jump in? Are we gonna save our husband?
That was way
Sorry. That was loud.
They just burst into the opera house. Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
That's right. I wagered that that's also the one that Cha saw when he was
So
young.
we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again, once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
Oh, child! That battle maniac. We always knew that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
Yeah.
Too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not some... and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. Some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed. That's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight
exactly.
it to the end. No matter
exactly.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled.
We gotta go save child.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
After everything has still turned out like this, we couldn't fight against fate. Wait, but if this is all about fate...
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
Which would be us. Because we're the witness.
Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Could it be that even if the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? Did I miss something? What did we miss? Bitch? Wait, I forgot about Farina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at the last moment in the giant magic box? What is her real secret?
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina!
Come on, traveler!
No, I still need answers.
Whoa. Like wide awake. I'm wide awake. I was in the dark. Shit. Oh, she looks so pretty.
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Is it like the writing?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity, and the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon, alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
I came into contact with Farina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain a being's strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydro sensitivity, I can form an emotional connection just like I did with the Oceanade at the Fountain of Lucian. Wait, could this be Farina's inner world? Farina, what is she doing on stage? Wait a moment. That probably isn't Farina. That's likely a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Wait, does that mean the Oratrice is actually the Focalor? I thought maybe Focalor was, like, hidden within her, like the Raiden with her puppet. Guess we should. What? What? Why do we have a golden glow and like what looks like swords or crosses coming off of us? How do we get up there? No. I mean, that would be funny if the Oratrice was actually the Focalor god.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand
Don't look at me,
you.
don't look at me.
There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
But I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not
Just
jest.
let the stage
Can
lights
you
go
not
off,
feel
please,
it?
if only for 1 second.
I am Focalor. The eyes
That
of
way
countless
I can become
Fontanians
myself
are
again.
upon me. I must at
So
all
the light
times
is basically
display
everyone.
the utmost elegance and nobility.
Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even in her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of the Hydra Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self and subconscious would have such an impenetrable defense? I have to find a way. The lights.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not.
Oh, no. I am not prepared for that.
Decided by destiny. Water jet.
I'm like literally not prepared for that.
Rain outlines your... We shall prevail.
Water jet.
I can't. I do not have the, fuck. Hold on. Oh my god. I'm not replaying this whole entire thing. Oh shit. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I was not. Okay, I can't fight. I literally cannot fight with what I have. Oh, thank God. Oh. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I thought I meant like the whole entire thing. I was about to be like, bitch, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Next time, be sure to make a proper appointment. Let's finish this quickly.
Let's bring Daddy Geo in. Alright. Shit! We are in oh, fuck! Okay. Shit. We're sorry, speed running through. Oh, fuck.
Sorry. That Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. The heavenly
principles.
Because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be. One was not amused. She knew full. And as one
I thought
of the seven,
it resent me to her throne room. Oh,
one
fuck.
defies the. So yes, As you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather... And I spent
Yeah,
a
next,
terribly long time
this
mulling
Thursday,
it
I
over,
mean.
alone
I'm
on
getting
the
my new
ocean. I had to
headset.
I'm
I
a
think
genius,
I will
I
test
know.
it out. Oh yeah,
Although,
I was
looking
wanting
back now,
to look at
it
the
was...
Wish
But one can
thing.
only play the
See who it
hand
was?
one
I
is
forgot.
dealt. I did not
One
choose
who has
this,
dealt.
any more than I...
So you were also once one of them?
Yes, I was. I
I'm like,
always
there's no
dreamed of
way, because
becoming
like,
human.
if an
And
opponent
I
showed
still
in that
do,
instant with the
even
first light, then that
after
means the
becoming a
rest of the
god.
lights will have
I
someone.
separated my divinity from my body and spirit.
And that would take
leaving
forever,
behind
so
only a
this is the
self that
best
was
course of
as not
action,
the
even if I have to
me.
go
She
through
could
this
feel
again.
joy,
I'm
sorrow,
sorry.
and every her strength. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human. Anyway, it's all part of the... Do you still remember the final scene of the Prophet? In order that the Prophet, under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor... Instead, she was forced to take... I suppose now you probably understand.
But Farina is... Even though she is...
It has indeed. It's been fun and all
Well, I really
along,
wish they did
she's
have,
been
you know,
playing
skip
her
scenes.
part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely.
Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Alright, I'm good. Okay, time to battle. Why couldn't it just send me here? See how this goes.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto... All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no... I am...
Yeah, I know. Oh, my bad. Okay.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not.
What if I went ahead and...
The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
This is order.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
See, we're going this way faster than if I did this with the other team that I had.
Cut to the chase. Incoming.
I will have order. Solidify.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards?
I'm battling them right now. Oh, you bitch. Ha! I dodged that without intending to.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
One with nature.
Speed of light. With sword comes shadow.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Stop backing away, bitch. Face me like a robot.
Into the wind.
Yeah. Okay. That's all the spotlights turned off. In Farina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? A ticket? When did that end up here? Okay. Either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. Scene 1. Before a mirror, Farina. Or Farina. Oh. Strut. Baby, strut. Baby, sex is it. Gotta stop. Put my hand down. Dance.
Farina. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're... mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh, she doesn't
Only
have her
then will the sins
hair.
of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh.
It's only the
Very
short
good.
hair.
You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I am a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial? Huh. How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
It's your trial, baby boo. Scene 2. Ascension speech. Farina. Wow, I cannot walk any faster. I know, that's where I need to go. If I could just get there. Slowly but surely. Almost there.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural.
Summon courage.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Farina de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person?
Shit.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy, right? Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want?
Above them.
How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
A personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Uh-huh. Scene 3, Opera House, Farina. Oh, is that her bed? Oh, got it. Okay.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
Oh, the trial that would end it all.
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
I was wondering if I could do any fighting actions.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Force?
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
You're such a gentle and wise God. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought, then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy. The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved. Alright, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute. I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Scene 5, Opera House. The arena. Oh my. Scene, oh.
Lady Farina, it's It's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Deoteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant of a
She sounds
line
like she's
most
crying.
ardent.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Oh, are you crying?
Uh-huh. Oh, really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
Huh. Okay.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more.
I wonder, when she heard about us, she probably felt some form of hope. Because we, quote-unquote, saved other countries.
No. Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far?
I need to see what time.
I have
Oh, it's
conducted
10:30.
so many investigations across the centuries. But there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me.
Today's Tuesday.
You have to succeed.
I don't know what time the movie theater near my house opens because it doesn't show on Google for some reason. Because I went in there last night after I got off work, but no one was inside. Literally, I walked into the door, no one's inside. Popcorn
Farina,
machine is shut
you
down.
don't have to shoulder this burden alone.
And I'm
Although
like,
I don't know what you
are
might
they
be keeping from everyone.
close and
Your
forgot to
people are
lock
more
up?
than willing to share your burden with you.
And I stayed there for a moment. I jingled my keys for a second. Oh. Sorry. And I jingled my keys for a second. See if that would, catch attention of someone in the room. No one. And then I left, because I'm like, I'm gonna leave. And I got in my car, and probably, a minute later, this family came out of the theaters, and I'm like, I guess there was a movie playing, and but I didn't see any activity after that, because I waited, another minute. And then it shows that there's no showing until 3, and I know we're supposed to have dinner. I didn't want to pay a fee, gosh. Well, apparently, Mother Dearest, claims that I can buy it online, I just have to pay a fee. I really didn't want to do that. Oh my god, tissues. Oh, there's my remote. Not my remote, my controller. I was wondering where my other controller was at. Okay, this is great. I didn't think this scene we were playing her inner world. Surely I find out what she wanted to tell me in this scene.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes? In other words,
Which means she
never
found someone that she
here.
could have confided in. If she would have taken her chance.
And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
I wonder if we're like a blind spot to the Heavenly Principle then.
If that's the case... She's right. I could confide in her, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Farina, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it. Long and hard.
And she was.
No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then
Dun, dun, dun.
I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Which is her.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really,
to kill herself.
Some have already discovered that only a small fraction
To
of the
stop
energy generated
the
by the
prophecy
device was ever
any further.
used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority has been, had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all a part of your plan, then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the oratories. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we?
No.
The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Which makes sense why his hair glows.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Nervillet, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
I really do hope he gets his powers back.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death,
I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Hi, princess. Oh, you're really making biscuits on my legs. Holy shit. Ow! Oh, I love you, princess. That hurts. Thank you, Farina, for all you've done. From this moment on, please live happily as a human. Just as I wish we could. Oh! Sorry.
Iudex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Woo! Sorry. It's a good thing I didn't try to pull for Rena.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
Oh, you're talking to the,
But since we're all still
sovereign.
alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
Didn't we?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the Primordial Sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtained the power just now?
Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
Oh, I thought you said executioner. You mean
the
me.
root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring Narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Yeah, Nervalette! Oh, wait, shit. That means I have to battle it. It's a good thing I got Geodaddy on my side. Oh, shit. Okay, princess, you gotta lay down or do something.
But how are
Shit.
we going to do that? It's huge!
Shit. Shit!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the Primordials.
How am I gonna battle it?
I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Okay, I don't have a bow user, you know.
Into the...
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
I will have order.
Ah. What? Destroy the eye? Oh shit.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. A chance will present itself.
Cut to the chase.
It's hard to fight this thing when you don't have an aerial. Ah! What is that? What is that? I'm sorry, what? Oh! Holy! Oh, bro! What you be doing? Ah! I'm your boyfriend! I am your boyfriend!
Motion to compel. Incoming.
Oh god, I barely could get him.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
Solidify.
Sorry.
The wind knows it. Order guide you.
What? Oh, okay. Jesus Christ! Use the power to do what?
Adorn my night. The wind knows it. Stabilize.
Nowhere to hide.
I guess it's definitely the good thing that I
Into the wind.
What? Oh. Ah ha ha ha. Whoa. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. What's happening? Okay. Oh.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Motion to compel.
Solidify.
Breath of the flame.
Oh my god. Mother!
This is order.
Use the power to destroy the corrupted shadows. What corrupted shadows? Ah! Whoa! Hey! 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 Stop it! I'm like, you're into. I can't talk. Hold on, I'm gonna. Not what I wanted to do. Oh! That is so mean. Why would you do that?
Into the wind.
Incinerate.
Solidify. Fallen leaves. Adorn my
Oh.
night.
Whoa! What is happening? Ha! Oh. Sorry, what?
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my
so-
job.
Oh
but
my gosh, she's stunning.
it was
Like, this
just
is what
supposed
I
to be
would
a short
expect.
Private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder.
Like, this is
Suppose I'll
what
have
a
to
god
swing
would
my
look like.
sword 3 million times as penance.
Your master pet?
Power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea.
Is she also not from this
From what
world?
she said that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
She probably was like, shit, you should have been my disciple.
So you may speak to me as equals.
What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well,
she's
child's
so pretty.
Master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sir Taloji.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
I thought I said the Fool. I was like, wow.
Nothing. Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhindaughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
No, there's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural after all the prophecy was really come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Oh, shit!
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, so he made the flood happen to quote-unquote be washed away. So it's not primordial sea, it's just regular seawater.
Hey! Help! Over here!
Oh, it's the big bitch! Ha! Eh! The city. And it can fly!
All hands
Wow!
initiate emergency rescue!
Risley! That's one way of grabbing people. Oh.
Hey,
Oh, Femine.
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
No. It was true. The water did technically wash away your sins.
Are you right?
We're saved. The prophecy is wrong.
Ayo. That can't be it. Are you kidding me? You motherfucker. We're in the middle of a dramatic moment and you say, nah. Nah. You gotta do this real quick. You fuckers.
You followed us a long way. Why don't...
So you're Lenny.
I'm assuming this is
Save
the
us
reason
the
why we
trouble.
can't do it.
Doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister.
Save your questions.
Look, now I'm not the...
Don't worry.
Hold on. Fuck off. I'm in the middle of trying to fuck shit up.
Time for your arraignment.
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Of course.
Vision wielders are all... Come on, let's scram.
Hey, wise guys. We ain't through with it. Oh, they got away. Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic. And they've...
Could it be Gemma?
Maybe she was too...
Let's head back to the cap...
Okay, hold on, let me make sure. This? That's what I have. Excuse me. I want to finish the Archon quest.
Who's your friend?
Please, with the... I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as Blubberby. I've invested all my savings into Graph Adversary. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of Begdom.
What?
I need you to calm down a little. I admire your... But I'm afraid I'm not... Funnily enough, but to our surprise, in truth, since we ran that... So I knew this...
Uh-oh. She really... Hey, Charlotte!
Traveler, Paimon! I was in the area. She read an article inspired by this. She was hoping I could... But unfortunately...
This is a new situation for us, too. It's such a pity. It seems...
Wait. Miss Lapine Pauline?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamek, head to the op that way. I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can.
Whoa! There's no need to go that. Actually, instead of going into the
270,000 Mora.
Shit.
Well, it's not anymore. It's not just. My life is.
Don't despair, Miss Lip. This
I don't
prototype
care.
you've given me. The camera lens for image recognition. The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful. So your research. Absolutely. So keep calm.
I can't. If this is. Oh, maybe.
Come on! Stop daydreaming!
And I can probably speak to some people like. There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Can you believe her? Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in.
It's understandable. When inspiration, but don't you worry. Her research.
It's reassuring to know that you.
I don't care.
Actually, it takes the right.
Thanks a lot, Chef. What a nice.
You're welcome. The boundaries, but yes, that's how I'll.
This is like you're in an intense spot in a book, and then all of a sudden, pressing point. Oh my god. Got interrupted by an ad. That's what it's like.
The Soul renewed. Spina di Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it.
Felt.
Skyship Winglet, Booner Brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
There might have been real big shots from the start. We just didn't meet them in that capacity.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious about how things will play out.
Curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
I want chips. Anyway. Oh yeah, the new lens. Oh, there's something else. Yep. Oh, I thought I did claim that. Sorry for coughing in your ear. Let's see, who is on there? Oh. Oh, we're showing the battle banner that was out. So we got 2 hours left of sight now. But I'm saving my stuff for Raiden. Yeah, I can't remember who was next in the banner. Alright. Let me go heal my characters.
Time to go.
Move, bitch. Worship statue. Oh, I thought I had things. I guess I did it. But I do need to go back on here. Need to make sure the rest of my people are here. Alright. I low-key want to be eating on some chips, but, you know, chips with playing on a remote controller isn't the best. What's up? Is that the name? Oh, no. It's a Fatui.
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are
I'm
going
assuming
here.
it's a Fatui.
Hmm? Oh, the Fatui
Yeah.
are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large
It's so
amount
weird.
of
In all the
supplies,
other countries,
and
you
is
know,
helping with our
obviously,
work. Our
the
residents are hard at work
Fatuis
as
are there
well.
for
Thanks to
diabolical
everyone, work
things,
is
but the
progressing
Fatui
nicely.
here
We've
are
lost a lot of
considered
people, but we're moving forward.
necessary.
That will have to be enough.
Nice.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
Oh.
But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clorinde?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers. And, well, I do already happen to
I
be
wonder what's
connected to
happening
Mr.
with
Callis.
Farina. Because, I mean, she
Just a
was,
moment. Do you
quote unquote, guilty.
questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about
Or
what it was
they'll
like facing down a
continue
god.
to
There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
state that she is a god.
Forget it. I'm sure you can
To
find a better
continue to
theme than
deceive
that,
the heavenly
Miss Charlotte.
principle.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor?
Well, if we're talking about
I
doing
don't care
things
much
for
for
my
this part.
sake.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up. And smile.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
So cute.
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clorinde.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
That's a weird term.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridsley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
The wrong way.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Of course.
Duke, did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already,
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier, hmm?
Sir, please don't say things like...
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No,
Now, I might not look it, but I the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this?
No, I'm good.
Ah, Sigewinne.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Sigewinne. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Hot. I really want to eat.
Sure. Do I have to smile?
You're always smiling, Sigewinne.
At the fortress.
Same old, same old.
Other than that flying ship.
3 hours?
It got
Feels like 3 hours.
too much attention, I think.
Almost 3 hours.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurier? Miss Lorvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun.
Yeah.
Not that you would want that, just...
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that
So
Harbinger,
handsome.
I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day.
Wait, so is
Thanks for
Farina
your
faking her death?
Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then,
Well, I wonder how the situation is now. I mean, the Gnosis was a form of the dragon's power. You know, Nervalet now has all of his powers back. So now there cannot be a Gnosis for the Fatui to steal. Where are we going? Oh. Okay. All the way back here?
Follow the wind.
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been...
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you. Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Oh.
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
You sure are working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Oh.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing
Father
alright.
says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervilet opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's Gnosis to her as
my God!
Diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic
Hold
gift?
up.
A gnosis?
Yes.
Sorry,
I was
hold
quite
on.
surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
That's true, but
Are you no?
gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Nervilet has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Nervalet knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the
I'm
fortress
gonna
of
fucking go
Narapete
yell
a
at
while
him.
back.
I'm gonna go yell at him.
Isn't he real busy and stuff?
No! We're gonna go yell at him.
But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Well, I guess I can now call him one of my war buddies.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
So shocked
Well, we
by such
fought
a
him
simple
for a
switching
second.
of sides?
Nave. No. Girl.
Father. Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
We should take that back from her.
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Will you keep to your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remember something. Please help us deliver
A
this.
vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
Us?
Will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather
Or is
remains
the rookie
so
talent
agreeable.
being Fermine?
Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't
Technically,
you
you
take
could
a
probably
magic
take a
pocket
photo
before
of
you
her.
go?
You would just have to
Here,
blur out
traveler,
her.
Paimon, you
face.
take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends. All right then. We'll be handing out pockets and some other...
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see how Neverlette's doing?
Okay, time for Neverland. Oh. Or Retrice Mécanique. Excuse me. Coming. Oh. Coming through. Archon. Actual Archon coming through. I can never imagine homie running. Running into battle, yeah, but like running. Oh. Oh, we're going in the back.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
One dragon approaching another dragon. No.
So, you really are here, Neverlette! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Post Lord deceived the Heavenly Principles. He used Furina's endless performance to save Fontaine.
Whoa. So that's what happened?
I only saw Furina's part myself.
Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element. Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water
Do they
from the
know this?
primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
You could say that it was at that moment that the Fontainians were finally truly born.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
Yeah. No, sis?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
About the initial verdict that was passed
I
on
have
child.
investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal.
Well, yeah, we know
but
that.
whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off.
Guess Focalor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon certainly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Yeah.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah! Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it.
So they're not actually birthing them?
Either way, it seems like this ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
The Fontaine's future.
About that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera
Yeah, I
House.
hear you, Princess.
I related
What
Focalor's
is it?
words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest.
I mean,
Having
yeah.
said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon...
Well, now she has to deal with 500 years of trauma
lead a normal life.
as a human. She's not gonna get over that shit for the rest of her life.
What about you?
Focalor really said,
Plans now that you've
fuck
regained your
you.
full powers as the Hydro Dragon.
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities,
you're so cute.
I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
Yeah. How is it gonna run?
That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
bitch.
right. They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something.
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis.
I don't
Their
care.
sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not
that's
need
true.
the Gnosis's power.
But
As
still.
such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations. Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
About the next stop on my journey.
You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Ooh.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as
Okay.
myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence.
Are we
with
going to be
humanity.
seeing dragons?
Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I know.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
You're so cute. Princess.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
We're not going to ask about her brother?
Hang on a sec. Paimon got a question about the Gnosis. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
You're so cute, princess.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
Oh.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh. According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they?
I stopped
and when did they die?
And now she's just rubbing up on my hand.
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
So the Gnosis belong to the third descender? And they will become a curse?
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
Made from their bones?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
A descender, she mentioned one of them. I'm the fourth descender. For me, this information means two things. One, that the Gnosis are related to descenders, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I guess that you might already be familiar with this concept.
If we're the fourth, doesn't that make our brother the third? Well, I mean,
that means that the Gnosis,
apparently,
which are exceedingly element compatible,
I
and can
quotated
even
that.
Elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder, does your body also possess similar properties?
Stop looking at me.
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right?
That's true.
No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Don't worry, I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of the god?
I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that fall upon
Princess,
all of
I would
us.
recommend you not to lay on my lap, because once this ends... Oh. Would you look at that? I'm gonna get up. Well... Wait. Are they the same height? Yeah, they're the same height. Look at the dragon, boys. Gotta take a screenshot.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Like I never let. Okay. Activate. Oh. Oh, it was in. I didn't know we could go that far in. Look at them. So why can't I? It just says item activated, deactivated. Aw, look at them.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots.
Oh, I thought that was
have
their
a
roulette
few
for a second.
references.
Sorry, I can't get over the roulette. So that means I won't be pulling for Farina. She's technically not the god. I mean, I will pull for her in the future. But since she's technically not the god, I'll be pulling for Nervalette. Since he is the sovereign. Where are you, traveler? There you are. What does it do? Increases level of Aqua Crest Saber. I still have shitty gear on her. Oh, no more Archon quests? That means finishing up, you know, his quest. I can't believe I'm done with the Archon quest. I'm gonna go back. Hey, bestie babes. We're gonna end it there. That's where we're ending the live stream. I got things to do. I want to eat something. Yeah, right, princess. I don't want to leave the house. But I gotta pay for my library card. Finally, I haven't been able to do that for like a week when I realized that I needed to pay for it. Gotta go to this popcorn place to buy popcorn for the people I'm meeting later today.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
And then I gotta go to my work to grind some coffee. Because I'm meeting people today, and that's their gift. One of their gifts is 2 bags of coffee. And then I gotta go get their other gift, which is the theater. You get a gift card. Love last minute things.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth.
I could have done this
come across Liyue tend to stay away. So it is
before work, but I didn't want to do that. yesterday. No, I can't believe, like, we're actually done with the Archon quest. Is this gonna be it with all the Fontaine map? Because, I mean, is that it? But, like, considering how big all of this is under one place, she'd be a little small. She's probably... Is she the size of Mondstadt? No, Mondstadt's smaller. Though technically Mondstadt's supposed to be bigger because, you know, it has more stuff to it. Okay, so she's the size of Leo. Not even Leeway. Okay, so she's the second biggest, I guess. I guess, in the future, you know, live streams, there'll be me exploring Fontaine properly. I don't know, I just for some reason figured with, you know, the release of the, you know, with each part of Fontaine that the storyline will also go into those parts of the map as well. Hi, princess. You're so cute. Look at you and your fluffy tummy. But most likely next live stream will finally be finishing his character story quest, and then we're probably gonna go to Nervalette next. Ooh, I want to know about Farina. Either Nervalette or Farina will be next. So I still have, you know, some content worth of streaming.
Wine tastes the same as I remember.
Yeah.
But where are those who share the memory?
You guys are so cute. Anyway. your guys' long ponytail hairs. Anyway. Dear child, I can understand. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the live stream there. Next live stream most likely will be happening in a week's time, which will be after Christmas. I don't know. It varies. Granted, I just bought a new TV, and it's like the same brand as the TV I'm playing on now, so I don't want to, but I could unhook my PS5 from this TV and bring it into my room to stream a little bit more. Even with what I live with being here for this like next part of the few days that I'll be off. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to do that because I finally settled my PS5 into the TV area. Like, she's not standing off to the side of
made for transferring
the TV stand,
and those
where it was easier to grab her for when I had to leave the house
so
to
it is
go
where many
pet
things
sit.
come to settle.
And so, as I said, I finally settled her inside the TV stand, where, since, you know, wintertime, I don't pet sit or babysit, so I don't need to take her out as often. So we'll decide. I was literally thinking last night, I'm like, man, maybe I should buy myself like a digital
Don't rush.
a digital PS5 to put in my room. Oh my god. Though most likely I'll probably put my digital in here and then put my DVD one in my room, because obviously I don't have a DVD in my room.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Anyway,
but where
that's
are
it.
those who share?
I'll see you in the next live stream, which most likely will be Tuesday. But I was low-key thinking about streaming the rest of the Honkai Star Rail, because I haven't continued it since I last live streamed it. But if I do a Honkai Star Rail, obviously that would be towards the evening time.
If you'd
She
like
won't
to
be in the
see
morning.
Liyue's tourist spots,
So we'll see.
I have a few
We'll see how that works out. I'll see you in the next one, whatever that is. If I don't end up streaming before Christmas, I'll say right now, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great holiday. Bye.